Sup all, JC3 here, the baller of YouTube, the general. Top 5 NBA players whose talents are being wasted. Now the purpose of this video is not to bash any one NBA team or single out any one NBA team, but it is to look at the individual player and ask, is the current situation that they're in going to bring success in their future in the NBA? Here comes the list. You let me know what you think in the comments down below. Number 5, Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was in one of the most interesting situations this last summer with the departure of Kevin Durant to the Golden State Warriors. I mean, it was almost inevitable that Russell Westbrook would get traded, and if he wasn't going to get traded, he was going to leave for another team in the upcoming offseason, which would be this next summer. But Russell Westbrook did the thing that everyone is calling him loyal for doing. He quickly signed an extension with the Oklahoma City Thunder. So was it a good thing that Russell Westbrook actually stayed with the Thunder? Now for Thunder fans to ease the pain and everything, obviously, but I'm going to look at this objectively for his career. If you really think about it, how much success is he going to have in Oklahoma City? I know we could live in a fantasy land and picture them against the Golden State Warriors, taking them down, going to the championship, winning it, but I think a lot of us know that's not going to happen. The Thunder at best will be a 4th seed, and they won't make it to the conference finals. If they do, it'll be a miracle, but they still won't make it to the NBA finals, regardless of how much Russell Westbrook can do. We saw this with Kobe Bryant, the years of 2005 through 2007, where he averaged 35 plus in that 2006 season and could not get them to the NBA Finals on his own, with players like Smush Parker and Kwame Brown on his team. So how do you think Russell Westbrook is going to do that with players like Oladipo and Adams and Roberson? But those are kind of average players, to be honest. I mean, Steven Adams is up there. I mean, I think he could become an elite player one day, but Oladipo is kind of, he is who he is. Roberson is who he is. You got a lot of players like Cantor, very good player, but he is who he is as well. Russell Westbrook, did he make the right decision for the current? I guess, but in the end, it might prove to be a prideful decision, and he's losing years of his prime playing on a team that's not going to make it past the second round of the playoffs. Number 4, Andre Drummond. Now the Pistons are an up-and-coming team, but the Pistons also play in the Eastern Conference, and that means you got to deal with LeBron James. And not only got to deal with LeBron James, LeBron will eventually decline, but even in a couple of years, you're going to have to deal with DeMar DeRozan, who is on a real tear. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Andre Drummond, but right now, currently playing for the Pistons, I feel like his talent is being wasted because he is pulling down 20 rebound games. He is just doing so much work for them, but at the same time, you got to wonder, boy, if he could be doing that for a team like the Celtics, or if he can be doing that for a team like the Toronto Raptors, think about if you put him on a real playoff contending team. I know the Pistons are a playoff team, but they're not really a playoff title contending team. You put him on a playoff title contending team like the Toronto Raptors, I feel like his talent could be a lot more utilized. But at the same time, he's going to want that big money, and these teams aren't going to be able to give him all the big money because they already got the other superstars. In today's modern day NBA, you see superstars teaming together, and some of them having to take losses to do it. Well, Drummond might have to be one of those players who takes a loss and goes and plays with some superstars in a couple of years in order to win a championship, because I don't see him, even on that roster, on that Pistons team that he's on, even making it to the NBA Finals. Number 3, John Wall. This guy might be the NBA's best kept secret next to Damian Lillard. A crazy fact, as a straight up fact that might make you feel a little bit old, is that this is John Wall's 7th season in the NBA, and he really doesn't have that much to show for it. Not to his fault though. This season is just another one of his great seasons, where he's averaging 22.9 points per game, 8.3 assists, and close to 2 steals. He's at 1.9 right now, currently. Over his career, he's averaged 18.1 a game. He's never cracked an average over 20 points per game in a single season, but he is a solid point guard that can play well beyond solid if he just had a couple of really, really good players around him. I look at his team right now. You see Bradley Beal. I guess you can throw in Otto Porter, but I can't really think of anybody else on that Wizards team. And that looks like a whole bunch of talent being wasted for John Wall. He's never made it to the conference finals. The farthest he's been in the playoffs was the second round. I think if you put John Wall even on an up-and-coming team like the Minnesota Timberwolves, it would pay great dividends for his career. It'd be better than where he's at now, at least, where he's putting in a whole lot of work and going nowhere real fast. Number 2, DeMarcus Cousins. This is another player that was drafted in the same class as John Wall. John Wall went number 1, DeMarcus Cousins went number 5 in 2010, and this is his 7th year in the NBA, and he doesn't even have playoffs on his resume. 20.4 points per game career average. He is averaging a double-double in his career, and he really has not been able to help the Sacramento Kings out, and I can't blame it on him at all. When you got a team that is signing players to one-year deals to try to make it work instead of just going with the rebuilding process, I really don't know how you're going to get this team back up and running. I mean, it is a shame that the Los Angeles Lakers could actually pass up the Sacramento Kings. The Lakers were horrible. Now their team is starting to play well together because they got all this young talent, while the Kings don't want to put any pieces around DeMarcus Cousins that could actually help them now and for the long run. And even worse, DeMarcus Cousins is put in such a bad situation with the firing of Mike Malone, the only coach that he actually liked. I really don't know what else to say about DeMarcus Cousins, but if he does eventually get traded, hopefully he'll go to a team that can use his services and have a chance to win an NBA championship. I feel like it would be a victory for him if he brings the Kings to the playoffs in the first place. Hopefully that happens. It'd be good for Sacramento. At the same time, this is a big talent that's been sitting out there in Sacramento, getting better year after year. This season, averaging 27.5 per game. Last season, 26.9 per game. Constantly increasing, bettering his three-point shot, and he doesn't even have playoffs to show for it. Number 1, Anthony Davis. Talk about surrounding a player with absolutely what? Because that's what happened to Anthony Davis. You got Solomon Hill. You got Tim Frazier. Tell me who that is. I do not know what the New Orleans Pelicans management is doing over there, but it's crazy. I know they have been hit with injuries to Tyreke Evans, leave of absence by Drew Holiday. At the same time, you look at that team, they lost Ryan Anderson. They really don't have anything to show for it but a first-round sweep by the Golden State Warriors in the playoffs 2 years ago. And I really thought this team was coming on, and then all of a sudden, no. I don't doubt that Anthony Davis is one of the best big men in the NBA. You can't really even define his spot. He's such a versatile player. This is his 5th season in the NBA. He was drafted by the New Orleans Hornets before they changed their name to the Pelicans. He's averaged this season 31.2 points per game, 3 blocks, and 11.1 rebounds a game. For his career, he's averaged 21.2 points per game, 2.4 blocks, and just under 10 rebounds a game at 9.8. This is the biggest waste of talent in the NBA by far. I'm just saying that he's been surrounded by players that aren't going to help him get to the next level. And as good as one player is, Michael Jordan couldn't even reach the next level without Scottie Pippen. So that's my list. What is my takeaway from this? Not everybody should join up on a super team and try to win an NBA championship that way. But I don't want any of these NBA players at the end of their careers to look back and say, I tried to tough it out with one team my whole career and I got nothing to show for it, because that's the Charles Barkley scenario. Oh, just to mention, Charles Barkley at the end of his career joined a super team. Didn't work out for him because it was a little bit late, but these players got to realize they can't do it all on their own. Everybody needs help. One player can literally not win a championship for a team. And so I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to leave some feedback in the comments down below. Subscribe, like, share this video. Again, let me know what you think. JC3, out.